Yes, hello. It's time for a very special episode of The Best Biome where we explore some legends, myths, and hauntings of grasslands around the world. I'm Nicole.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Alan.
And it's going to be a great time.
It is. The energy in here, I want to say, is full tilt insane.
Yeah.
We are very excited to bring you this episode. It might be the one episode of this podcast that makes you dumber because we are not talking really about science.
I have like a sentence of science.
Oh, okay,
Whoa.
that's cool.
I
Yeah.
know.
2 sentences of science.
It's 2 more than I have.
Oh God.
Yes, but we're going to take a walk on the weird side of grasslands and the paranormal.
I'm questioning everything already.
No, this is a great idea. Yes, this will probably be the one and only time we talk about cryptids on the podcast. Maybe.
I think that we already actually have.
Okay.
Is that true? I think we talked about Bigfoot and like the grassland Bigfoot before.
We did?
I think so.
The plains variety of the.
Yes.
I have an entire PowerPoint presentation already made about why I hate Bigfoot as a concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Definitely the only time there will be an entire episode dedicated to it. So
Okay.
enjoy it while you can.
Never say never.
Yeah,
All right. What
true.
have you guys got today?
So yeah, like Alan said, we are taking turns to just bring you weird tales from around the world. I am up first with feldgeister. So these are field spirits, spirits that haunt corn and just general grasslands.
Haunted corn.
I mean, okay, there's like multiple stories about haunted corn. So like objectively spooky for so many reasons.
Yes.
Right.
And I kind of picked my favorite ones. These are based out of a book that was written in 1868, which is officially and probably forever going to be my oldest resource that I've ever used for this podcast.
So probably the truest.
Yes, definitely the truest. But it was written by Dr. Will Manhart. It's called Die Kondemone. So it's German. I know. It is German. I'm sure I'm butchering most of these names. I'm going to try my best. I did spend like 10 minutes this morning just like listening over and over again to like how to pronounce it. Don't remember any of it.
That was really well
I
done,
tried.
though. It sounded very German to me.
It's very German.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I very poorly translated this into English so that like I could read the book because it's all in German. I don't know German, so I don't know how good that translation was.
Perfect.
It's fine.
Lay it on us.
But yeah, let's dive in. These field spirits are varied. Some of them are very vengeful. Some of them are animals. Some of them are humanoid. Some of them are both. They're humans that can turn into animals. And they're all very, very fun. There's like the classic stealing children ones, and then there's like ones that like spoil your crops. And then there's some that are like really inventive. Like there's this one that was depicted in the book that it would run through the streets. It wasn't specified like what kind of animal this was, but it was spirit animals that would run through the street. They had fiery eyes as big as dinner plates. They would dive underneath your legs, pick you up, and carry you off into the fields.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good scare. Yeah.
It's so good. Like, absolutely terrifying. And I love it. Cornflowers were also mentioned multiple times, and specifically children going out to like look for cornflowers. Don't do it. You will 100% be eaten, killed, mangled, or just straight up stolen. So yeah.
You're talking about like the blue flowers, right? Not
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is a good cautionary tale.
Yeah. Reasons to dislike invasive exotic cornflowers.
Yes, 100%.
The
Eradicate
spirits
them.
that they brought from Germany. Yes.
Yeah, we fit some science in here. Good job, guys.
Nice.
But first, I wanted to talk about the different animal shapes that they can take. This is not all-inclusive whatsoever.
Right.
The idea of corn spirits and like field spirits is very wide-ranging. A lot of these stories are from Europe, but there's some like from Africa. There's all sorts of different kinds all over the world. But wolves are very, very popular. There's the corn wolf, grass wolf, Getreide wolf, which is grain wolf, Roggen wolf, which is rye, and he specifically steals children for snacks. Don't know why specifically the rye wolf does,
Okay.
but it was mentioned that he does.
Interesting.
What goes better with rye bread for the rye wolf than rye children?
Yes, absolutely.
Are these spirits made of these materials, or are they just like
Did they just die there?
They're inhabiting these fields.
they're haunting them?
Yes. Yeah.
So corn wolf is not like does not have a corny texture to him.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's just a wolf spirit that died in a cornfield or in a field.
It wasn't really specified as to why like they're haunting that specific field. At least that I saw in my research. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Interesting.
Unclear. And I'm sure there's multiple stories as to like why these animals and beings are haunting these fields. A lot of times it comes down to like the spirits are hungry, so they're kind of like stealing from your crops a little bit. But like if you try to get rid of them, then they will, attack you or steal your children or, etc.
Blight.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Blight. Yes. I think it's good that they do more than just steal children and ruin crops, because that's pretty standard ghost stuff, you know? I think it's nice to see a more playful spirit just wanting to kind of troll you a little bit.
She said mangled children earlier.
Well, yeah, I know. But I mean, like, some of them are like, you know.
There's the classic, but then there's like some unique ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So the playfulness isn't like the mangled children. It's that they can have a playful streak
Right.
by
That's what I'm
destroying your
hearing.
crops.
In your entire livelihood, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, there are some specifically that like
It's a little lighthearted haunting.
Yeah.
yeah. There's a couple that just like give you bad luck if you make them mad. So like
Oh, that's cute.
yeah, bad luck. We have varieties here. There's also wolves of peas, barley, oats, and potatoes. Those are specific potatoes. Yeah, those are specifically listed out.
Oh,
I want
potato
a
wolf.
potato wolf.
Yes. There's also several like hounds, like dogs that were mentioned, specifically haunting corn, rye, hay, barns, and wheat. Some of them have specific like breeds of dogs that like they take the appearance of. I saw a hay poodle mentioned.
Is it just like a merge and it's woolly poodle fur has hay sticking out of
That'd be
it?
pretty cool. Like I like it brings a really cool picture to mind.
I'm just imagining a dog that's just like rolled around in a barn.
Yeah. Fair. There's also a corn pug mentioned, which is very cute. And then the kittlehund looks for children to tickle to death.
To death?
To death.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
both playful and terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tickled to death.
Yep.
What is that? Wow, okay.
Ooh, what a way to go.
Yeah.
How is it exhaustion?
Yeah.
Wow.
You just laugh until
Do
you
you
can't
starve
breathe
because you
anymore.
can't? Yeah.
I don't know. It was wild though. I really liked that one. Let's not leave out the cats though. But
Oh.
interesting with the cats, they weren't really specifically mentioned to haunt like certain types of foods like the dogs. They're more like free flowing like wind spirits that like, just like mess with you and like make noises in the corn and stuff like that. So there's like a weather cat, a wind cat, but there even are ones that inhabit like open grassland areas, like so not just cultivated fields. So I thought that was really fun. There are bird spirits. The only one that I could like specifically find was the grain rooster, who it sounds cute, but he does pluck out your eyes if you wander into the fields. So
Sounds like a good bird
man.
thing. Yeah.
How much of this is just trying to get kids not to mess with the crops?
Probably a lot of it.
Wasn't that during the time of child labor though?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Maybe it was to cover up the deaths from child labor.
Oh no.
No.
It was the corn rooster got him.
Yeah.
I
was
wasn't
another one.
negligence. I didn't mangle him in the farm equipment. That was the ghosts. The ghosts mangled him.
A good realist take there.
Yes. Probably my favorite of the animal forms is one that was a goat.
Of course.
So it is specifically like like there's multiple different variations of the goat. It's described as being a bird with a goat voice, or a 3-legged goat, or specifically a chamois with wings.
A chamois with wings?
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of wings?
Beautiful.
I don't know, but
Yeah, bat wings or bird wings?
Ooh, I don't know. Probably bird, but bat would be cooler.
That would be cool. That would be way more metal.
Yeah, be more haunty, but it's fine.
But this wonderful, beautiful chamois with wings, perhaps, its cry announces springtime. However, apparently its call is a little bit weird, and it gets very offended if you imitate that call or you make fun of him. He will punish you with bad luck, attack you, or even eat you. So don't make fun of the chamois.
Well, now we have to ask, are you going to imitate it right now for us to hear what it sounds like?
I'm not going to make it mad.
Well, it's not here, Nicole.
You don't know
Are you here, chamois? Give us a sign. Oh, no!
I'll invoke it. Come at me, chamois with wings.
Yes.
Amazing.
I'll be the Shane of this podcast.
Oh, gosh. If the wildest part of this is that if it can't catch you, it will hang itself as a bloody coat upon your door.
It skins itself and just leaves its skin on your door?
Apparently.
Maybe it's like a selkie where it just like steps out of its skin
Maybe. It's
Ooh.
unclear.
and then runs naked as a woman through the cornfields,
Sure.
screaming.
It will it will also slap you if you're looking out your window at night, and it's no I'm not making any of this stuff up. But
Oh,
these are-
yeah, I believe you.
Slap you.
That's the scariest thing you've said all day.
Just, hey, quit looking out there.
Bam.
That's the night. That belongs to me. Go back to bed.
He is also known to be the mount of the devil.
Okay,
So,
sure.
He's
A chamois?
very chamois.
They're not very big. Okay. How big is the
good
devil?
point. I don't know. A little man.
Little guy. Just a little guy.
I want to draw this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it is bat wings.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
At least at the time of the writing of this book, there was a lot of common phrases like in the lexicon, such as the wind cats are running in the grain or the wolves hunt each other in the grain, which were like relics from these stories. And I really, really hope that these are still common sayings, but I have no idea.
Bring it back.
Good stuff. I have one more that I want to talk about. It's a human-shaped one. She's known as Baba, grandmother, or the corn mother. She's absolutely wild and was described like in detail in this book. She is described as faster than the fastest horse, so there's no outrunning her. She has fiery fingers and breasts filled with tar that were
Okay.
that are tipped with glowing like iron brands of it, essentially.
Whoa.
That's so metal.
Yeah, she's amazing.
What?
She's also described as either like all black or all white. So just like very ethereal and like long hair flowing in the wind. I don't know if we can keep this part, but some accounts say that her breasts are so long that she can hit you upside the ears with them, and she throws them over her shoulders when she runs after you.
That's amazing.
These are the tar-filled, like metal-capped
Yeah.
breasts, tipped with metal, leaking tar. That
That
sounds
is-
terrifying.
That
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I have never heard a cryptid of that caliber. That is
Yeah.
something else.
It's so good.
This is like legitimately really fun.
Woo, that's a good one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And she runs faster than a horse.
Yes.
That's
the fastest
horrifying.
horse.
Yeah.
Wow.
If she catches a child, she's known to blow the eyelight of the children out. I'm assuming this is some kind of reference to like souls, like she's taking their souls.
Ooh, like the spark of life in your eye.
Yeah. She even is known to replace them with changelings and then like send them back out into the world.
Dang.
Very good.
This keeps getting better. Yeah.
She can turn into animal forms, so she can be, very inconspicuous and then like take her true form and get you. She ripens the fields of farmers that she likes and spoils the fields of those she doesn't.
Ooh, okay.
How do you get on her good side, though?
Offerings?
Yeah, offerings. There's a lot of really fun like rituals to avoid like the wrath of these spirits. I know I've been going for a while, but I'll try to make it quick. But she, like, in general, all of these field spirits, like, are appeased at the end of harvest season. You can leave, like, the last little bundle of crops either up for a certain amount of time, or you treat that last little bundle with a lot of respect. So you cut it down. A lot of times they turn it into like a doll or like an animal doll. And this kind of ritual of like a corn doll or a corn husk doll is very common like throughout the world for various different reasons. But those final stalks are treated with a lot of reverence. Sometimes the farmers will take it into their home and like put it up on the mantle in a place of honor until the next corn husk doll the next year can replace it. Like you cannot move it until you have the next corn husk doll to replace it. Other times they'll take the dolls and like parade them around town and give them offerings and have like a whole festival based around these dolls.
What do the corn husk dolls look like?
They can look like humans or they can look like the animal that, was supposed to be inhabiting that field. So a wolf, a cat, a chamois. They look like a lot of different things.
Interesting.
They can be like small and like fit in your hand, or they can be quite large.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a fantastic ghost story. Like you already had us with all the descriptions and then you add haunted, creepy dolls to the mix.
Oh, it's got everything. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Wow.
It's good stuff.
Crowd pleaser.
Yes. And I just love the feldgeist. Like they're just very, very fun. And I love that they can be very vengeful, but they also promise a good harvest if they're taken care of. There's field and crop demon stories that date back to like the 10th century or even earlier. And we've always been like scared of what lurks in the tall grass, and perhaps there's a good reason for it.
The spirit might burst out of there running like a horse, its breasts trailing behind it.
Yes. No, over her shoulders.
Yes.
Over her shoulders.
But also still like whipping behind her like a scarf, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Man.
Love it.
Amazing.
That's the feldgeist.
Nicole?
Thank you.
I accept your offering.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
Who wants to go next?
Should I get mine out of the way?
Well, don't make it sound like a chore.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm excited for yours because this is yours is very close to home.
Yes.
Yeah, mine is quite close to home. I wanted to tell you guys about the legend of Sinkhole Sam. So, Sinkhole Sam, just to set the scene, is a prairie-locked sea serpent who, according to journalist Michael Aberty from Kansas City Magazine, is, quote, the greatest monster legend Kansas has ever known.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
So Sinkhole Sam, of course, as the name implies, lives in a sinkhole. And sinkholes are pretty common in areas with a lot of limestone. There are obviously sinkholes here in Kansas, many of which have dried up and are just dry, empty sinkholes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, when that subsurface rock, that limestone rock, is slowly dissolved over time, it can lead to rapid just plummeting of the surface, which creates a beautiful, wonderful sinkhole, and can be very sudden and scary. Heavy rainfall can trigger sinkholes. This is my science sentence of the episode, right?
Nice.
Okay. Heavy rainfalls, especially after long periods of drought, can trigger them. And of course, sinkholes are known to entrap wildlife.
Indeed.
Both empty sinkholes that kill many Kansas natives, but also sinkholes filled with water that trap ancient sea serpents.
Yes.
Chapter 1, Mennonites don't lie. The big sinkhole, quote unquote, which is the official name for Inman Lake, is the largest natural lake left in Kansas.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And it's also entirely on private property.
Okay.
Which sounds, that's par
tracks
for the
for
course.
Kansas, yeah.
Yep. And the legend began in 1952, where word of a wormy beast began to spread. This worm is described as being 15 to 30 feet long.
Dang.
And as fat as a tire.
Fat as a tire.
Whoa. Is this like a car tire or like a
Yes.
tractor tire?
Yes, there are specific cars listed.
Oh.
There was like a 1951. I didn't write it down because I don't care about cars. But somebody specifically named the car tire that it was as large
Wow.
as. Yeah.
Wow, they could get it that specific
Yes.
on like the girth of the beast.
Correct.
But they
But
were
no, like,
it was
evidence.
There's a lot of
15 to
eyewitnesses,
30
guys.
feet long, though.
Yeah. Like I
It was
said.
really true.
Maybe this size, or maybe twice as big. I don't know,
Who
but it
knows?
was definitely this wide.
Exactly 24 inches wide.
Yeah, I didn't make this up. This is from eyewitness accounts. So
yeah.
believe them or don't. I'm just giving you the facts.
No, yeah. These are facts. Yes.
2 eyewitnesses spotted the creature 1 year later. 18-year-old Mennonite Albert Neufeld raises his hunting rifle and fires off 2 shots directly at this beast. Now, the other eyewitness, George Rager, reported that Sinkhole Sam was merely wounded, and it was unlikely that he died, which is why they didn't find a corpse. But they both saw it with their own eyes and tried to bag the body. That's the closest anyone has ever come.
Dang.
Now, Marcy Penner, who is the daughter of the landowners who once documented these events in a book, their family has owned the property since the 1870s. She was quoted as saying, Mennonites are not exactly prone to exaggeration, which is to say that there's no reason why these eyewitnesses, being good Mennonite farm boys, would ever lie about such a thing.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make great cinnamon rolls, too.
You're not wrong.
Chapter 2, the legend. Notoriety of Sinkhole Sam spreads like wildfire. It starts off with a satirical cryptid reporter
Okay.
named Ernest Alva Dewey, who wrote a spoof story about Sinkhole Sam with a completely fake made-up scientist who wrote a bunch of quotes about the monster. And this fake, completely made-up scientist, whose name was Quattlebaum, a real name. I know somebody whose last name is Quattlebaum.
I do too, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you is it the same person?
It might be, yeah.
It might be.
I mean,
Who can say? Anyway, this fake scientist was like, "Oh yes, Sinkhole Sam is totally a vegetarian and terribly dumb, so everybody's totally
Wow.
fine.
Wow.
And also definitely lives in the subterranean Kansas caverns, and the big sinkhole is merely his above ground swimming pool where he comes up recreationally."
okay, so there's he lives in a subterranean ocean situation.
Yeah, for sure.
For
In
sure,
like the
for sure.
limestone, cave systems that exist under the seabed, So anyway, people were like, wow, amazing. We all this is a fake story, a spoof story, but it made everybody want to go see it. So amazing. Monster hunters began to swarm the sinkhole, which I'll remind you is on private property. Mill Penner, the landowner, came home one day after church to find just lines of cars parked up on the road, and everybody has their windows up just in case the monster comes out. They're all
That's gonna protect them.
I love it.
monster hunters begin to swarm, and this is when Sinkhole Sam really is born, a year before these 2 Mennonite farm boys tried to shoot it. By 1953, a Kansas City reporter named Mary Kay Flynn arrives and really seals his nationwide fame. Now, she interviews a lot of quote-unquote responsible citizens. These are not, hooligans. These are, upstanding members of the community of 500 farmers in the area, right? Why would they lie? So here's what they had to say about Sinkhole Sam. Number 1, he's probably 15 feet long.
Okay.
And not 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has a fluted tail.
Fluted tail.
A fluted tail.
Very nice.
I honestly don't know what that means.
I'm trying to picture it. I don't know either.
I'm assuming it's, like split.
Like a split, like a sea serpent, basically.
It's like a dragonfly nymph.
Yeah. Also, eyewitnesses who are responsible citizens again say he has a long fin on his back
Okay.
and, quote, a non-snake-like grin. So he has a grin, but it's not a snake grin.
Ooh.
It's a different sort of grin.
Is
Like
it
a lizard?
Like an impish, like human grin.
All we can say is it's not like a snake.
Does he have a mouthful of human teeth?
You know, a lot of the illustrations make him look like, those those sandworms.
Oh yeah.
From-
Okay. Dune.
No, I was thinking
Beetlejuice.
the striped ones.
Yeah. Okay. The
Yeah.
goofier kind.
A lot of the illustrations look like that.
Okay,
Amazing.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's the best outcome.
Yeah, that's a better situation than. Yeah.
Yeah. And basically was described, Sinkhole Sam was described as being the Kansas's Loch Ness Monster. So naturally, newspapers all over the country pick up the story, and Sinkhole Sam becomes a true legend at this point.
Heck yeah.
Now, this is probably not important, but I would like to point out at this point that the younger brother of Albert, the guy who reportedly shot Sinkhole Sam and like spread a lot of the myths about him, said, quote, "Our family was embarrassed by the whole thing."
Dang, you're gonna do Albert dirty like that, huh?
Yeah, it seemed like an important note, just, to contextualize this entire ordeal. So at least some people were kind of embarrassed that this became a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I want to believe.
Yeah, me too. Chapter 3. But what if he's not a vegetarian? Really, what serpent is? And so I just want to point out that, the next decade after, there is a similar report out of Kingman of a creature that sounds an awful lot like Sinkhole Sam. And this is going to really help us contextualize this legend, right? So in the 1960s, a 20-foot long animal drags a calf into Kingman County State Lake and devours it. Obviously, there's eyewitnesses to this entire thing. They assemble a huge hunting party, and they try to hunt down and kill this animal, but it completely evades them. And I would like to point out that the biggest known native snake in Kansas is the gopher snake, which tops out at like 6 feet long. So we're clearly dealing with something else
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
out there. And this really brings up the question of what is Sinkhole Sam? How dangerous is Sinkhole? How many Sinkhole Sams are there? Did
Yeah.
Sinkhole Sam get tired of Inman Lake, aka the big sinkhole? Did it slip away to Kingman? Is it really a vegetarian? No, probably not.
Got more questions than answers.
Indeed, as most legends. Yes.
If it did slink away, did it slink away like through the underground cave systems?
Or overland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd choose
Yeah.
cave systems because that's
yeah.
way cooler.
It is
cooler.
way cooler. I think that that's probably the answer. So just to kind of conclude this, I want to give you guys some really scary facts about the future that are scientific again. Are you ready for
Okay.
this?
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, human activities accelerate sinkholes, especially over drying groundwater. Great. Number 2, climate change predictions favor the creation of more sinkholes. Okay. Droughts are going to go up. Rainfall events are going to be more intense when they do happen, and there's going to be more pressure on groundwater resources that dry them up more, which is the perfect breeding ground for additional sinkholes to form under these limestone karst caverns that exist in the subterranean former ocean, right? So then we must ask the question, what is Sinkhole Sam? Is there going to be a Sinkhole Sam population boom as more sinkholes appear across these desolate plains that were former oceans? Is Sinkhole Sam the remnant of an ancient sea monster that escaped into the caves when the oceans dried up and is popping up as sinkholes give it little bathtubs to the future?
Well,
I think this warrants a deep exploration of the underground cave systems of Kansas and beyond. And who knows how many horrifying monsters will be unleashed as climate change desolates our landscape in the future. And that is all I have to say.
An unexpected climate change impact.
Yeah.
Subterranean monster invasion.
We deserve it.
It's what the future we earned.
I mean, that's a more interesting apocalypse scenario, if we're being honest.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
If there's not a movie about this, there needs to be one. I'm over tremors and like the normal landworms.
Yeah.
I need subterranean monsters.
Sea worm, yeah. Sea
Ancient
worm on
Loch Ness
land.
monster situation, but it's from the Western Interior Seaway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has he ever been described with like any limbs?
No,
Okay.
fins.
Okay.
Like a fin on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very worm-like.
A
very
dorsal
wormy.
fin, fluted tail,
Yeah.
Yeah.
teeth of a human.
But not a snake.
Okay.
The grin is not snake-like.
Yes.
Grin
yes.
is not snake-like. He's about the width of a 54 Buick tire.
51.
51. Oh, my
So
bad.
my bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. I've literally never heard of Sinkhole Sam before. So
Dang, you
That
live
was
so
amazing.
close.
That's like, it's
This is
northwest
our
of
neighborhood.
Wichita. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like right by my hometown, which, by the way, in my hometown, we once had school canceled due to sinkholes.
See? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before Hutchinson is swallowed by ancient sea monsters.
He's probably in the salt caverns right now.
oh
Oh
yeah.
my god, for sure. Yeah.
There's parts of those that are closed off. Why are they closed off?
Asking the right questions, Nicole.
Yep. We have tiny chunks of salt that contain the remnant water bits of the ancient Permian Sea.
Yes.
What else is in there?
Oh yeah.
Bacteria to start. What's next? 20-foot long monsters.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Alan, what do you have for us?
Send us home. Oh.
Well, guys, I want to get in the weeds with you
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
with a little tale of the unknown, the bizarre, the unexplained. But first, I want to ask you: do you think a grassland can be scary?
Yes.
Can be?
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Have you worked in a grassland?
Yes.
The grass alone can kill you. Nicole is proof.
Yes.
That is a good point. You've been seriously injured by grass before.
She has grass scars.
Yeah, grass is dangerous. Okay, yes. I know because of the, like dark and scary woods, very cliche. But I think like
Tall grass.
tall grass, yes.
There's something primally terrifying about that.
right?
Yes.
What's in there? Right? Even short grass, it's like, oh, I'm so exposed.
Ooh.
I'm vulnerable.
Yeah.
There are predators here that have like adapted to run and be relentless, and I have no escape.
Yes.
Good stuff, right? So we're gonna lean into that anxiety from open spaces a little bit, and we're gonna talk about a particular grassy cryptid that is once again right here from the United States. We're gonna take a little trip across the Mississippi.
Oh.
Okay, to the Buckeye State.
Ohio?
Yeah, that's right.
That's across the. I don't know geography very well.
It
Sorry.
is. Yeah.
It definitely is.
Cool. Super cool. I knew that.
By the way, fun fact: did you know that only 14 of the 63 national parks are on the other side of the Mississippi, are on the eastern side of the Mississippi?
That makes sense because it got colonized way quicker.
Yeah, that's probably why.
And so, like, human population is super dense.
It's really like 13 because I don't know that Gateway Arches really counts as a national park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't like that one.
It's just kind of more of a attraction,
Yeah.
But yes, this one that we're going to, this is Cuyahoga National Park. You guys familiar with this at all?
No.
You guys have never heard of Cuyahoga Valley National Park?
I feel like I have, but I also feel like it just reminds me of the word cayuga, which is a duck I like.
Okay. Yeah. This is a park. It's a national park. It's got some a lot of restored grasslands. Okay. It's actually a lot of its restored grasslands are agricultural fields and developed areas that have been sort of repopulated, which includes, by the way, the Richfield Coliseum, okay, which was a former home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, the NBA team. They tore it down, they demolished the parking lot, and it's now 327 acres of grassland and wildflower meadow.
Whoa.
Oh my god, that's such a good use of that space.
That is a really good use of that space. Yes.
Hell yeah.
It's doing so well. National Audubon has designated it as an important bird area, and it's a known nesting site of Henslow sparrows.
I love them.
Just nesting in the ruins of society.
Amazing.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes. Now, I don't know I couldn't find a lot of information on how well managed the grasslands are, or whether, because this is Eastern Ohio, it's more of a historically forested area. So I don't know if they're managing these grasslands actively or if they're treating them as just kind of a mid-successional state en route to being a forest again someday. But there is a very well-established grassland ecosystem there now, and there's more than just Henslow's sparrows lurking in it.
Ooh, are there like bobcats?
No, Rachel. It's the Cuyahoga Grassman.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let me tell you a little bit about the Cuyahoga Grassman, okay? This is a cryptid well known to Ohio natives. There are this article, which is my main source, is by Jennifer Wilbur from exemplore.com, and she, as an Ohio native, says she is afraid to walk this park at night because of the Grassman. It is similar to a Bigfoot, but I must say it is a different species than a Bigfoot. A lot of my sources were very, very stuck on that point. It is not a Bigfoot, but it may be related to a Bigfoot or Big Feet.
Okay. I love crypto taxonomy.
Yes. The Grassman, allegedly gets its name from the large hut-like nests it builds by delicately interweaving tall grasses. And wouldn't you know, we have photo evidence of one.
Oh, is it like a giant Henslow's?
You're looking at it. That is that is a discovered in 1995. That is a Cuyahoga Grassman nest.
Whoa.
You can see it's about 10 feet wide, about 5 feet tall. It can they estimate it could contain 3 fully grown men in it.
Wow. How many Cuyahoga Grassmen though?
Well, they're a little bit bigger.
So
They're about 7 to 9 feet tall. Ooh. 300 pounds.
Oh,
So
that's a bugbear.
That's bugbear size, yes. If you're a nerd. And you are. Rachel.
yeah.
Where would this fall on your tier list for grassland nests?
What does the interior look like?
I can show you. I've got
really
a little
important. You do?
I've got oh please. That's a more interior shot.
Oh, it's not very. It doesn't look very sealed from the inside. It looked pretty covered from the outside.
Sure.
From the inside, it kind of looks like a burn pile
Okay.
that people just
hollowed out.
got inside of.
Yeah, that's fair. It is very nice. Like they said that there was like interlocking grasses on top to make it weatherproof.
Okay.
Well, all grasses interlock if you think about it.
All right. Sounds like you're unimpressed.
I'm less impressed. I feel like that's more than a scrape, but less than a great crested flycatcher with its like klepto nest.
That's fine.
So
better than a killdeer.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let me give you a little visual.
I mean, I'm giving it some credit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let me give you a visual of the Cuyahoga Grassman here first.
Wait,
they do look exactly like you would expect. A sort of a mix between a gorilla and like a swamp thing situation. So they're very grassy. That is an artist's rendition of the Cuyahoga Grassman.
What are those waterfalls in the background?
That's part of the national park.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't completely just made up.
No. Okay. And this is a digital rendering of one.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That was
very
much
Bigfooty.
more gorilla, yeah.
Very gorilla. Very
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Can I ask if on the first one was the green coloration an artistic choice, like a limited color palette situation,
No,
or do they believe it's green?
It is believed to be green. There's conflicting reports. There are some people who describe it as being like covered in grass. There are other people who just describe it as having like wildly long flowing hair.
Kind of like a sloth situation where it's like tinted green with all the like.
Could be with all the stuff grown in it. Yeah, like it's like an ecosystem in its fur. Well, that's some of the basics of the Grassman. But let me tell you about, because this is something that is well documented in Ohio. Okay, this is a well-known local legend dating all the way back to 1869. When the first sightings of this 9-foot-tall bipedal ape-like creature, was seen eating grass and wheat.
What?
They apparently are vegetarian.
Are they ruminants?
It's a primary part of their diet, it sounds like.
Wow.
They don't have to be ruminant. You know why? Because if you remember back to our baboon episode, Baboons, the yellow baboons in particular, their dietary intake is between 40 and 90% grass.
What a pull. Oh my God, you're right. There is a scientific precedent for this.
So yeah, large primates
Amazing.
may be, definite grazers. Okay.
Ellen, I'm so delighted.
We're doing lots of callbacks here. Okay. Okay. The Grassman, though, is even though it's a vegetarian, it is not necessarily a gentle beast. There are aggressive encounters of this noted, including one of those early ones from the 1860s. A man and a woman were walking in the Cuyahoga Valley, and then a large ape-like man burst out of the brush and began attacking the man. They scuffled. They Donnybrooked or whatever. And then he eventually relented. The Grassman ran off. Wow. But it became clear, and it was noted in one writing about Ohio, that the Grassman seems to prey on those with cowardly blood.
Oh.
Okay. So this is the least believable part of this story so far, that this random dude just fought off this 7 to 9 foot tall ape man and was like, ooh, I'm an alpha. I don't have cowardly blood. Now I don't believe it anymore.
You don't believe it? We'll just wait.
I'm
Well,
over it.
more.
but here's the thing. Like, by admitting you got attacked by one, aren't you basically saying that you have enough cowardly blood
That
to
he
be a
thought he could take
target?
you. Yeah.
But maybe he dug deep and
overcame.
overcame his fears while getting beaten by a large gorilla.
This is how we know it's like 7 to 9 feet tall.
Maybe, yeah. Well, it's been cited a lot.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of encounters with this creature. Okay. One of the most prominent sightings of the Grassman was from 1978. You have 2 residents of Minerva, Ohio, the Claytons. They encountered the creature while their children were playing outside. They described it as a hairy monster, and they ran back there. They saw something resembling an ape with matted dark fur sitting in a gravel pit on their property, playing with trash.
Ooh.
Okay.
Typical cryptid behavior.
They ran away. Okay.
Good.
They ducked out.
Cowards.
But it would not be their last encounter with the Grassman. This same family on another night saw the Grassman looking in through their kitchen windows. It disappeared before the father, Howe, was able to get his gun. Upon investigation by the local police, couldn't find the creature, but they did find footprints.
What were they like?
Ooh, big. Gorilla-y, but not Bigfoot.
Okay. Yes,
All right.
yes.
Later that year, they saw the creature again. Okay. On top of a hill by a strip mine. All right.
Whoa.
But here's the kicker.
Oh boy.
They then, a month later, in broad daylight, observed 2 of the creatures on that same hill.
A breeding population.
A breeding population of Cuyahoga grassmen. Grass people. Grass folk.
Grass folk. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So it's not just a solitary beast, okay?
Yeah.
There's many of them, and they're nesting. All right. Those 1995 hikers that found the nest had also reported that they were on a night hike, and then they heard a high-pitched scream. Okay, and there are recordings of this scream.
Of course.
Of course there are. Yeah. It sounds, it
Like
sounds
a
not
barred owl mating call.
Well, that would be the skeptics, response. You could say it sounds like a large primate hooting, perhaps.
Wow.
You could say that.
You could, yeah.
You could also say it's probably a barn owl. Yeah.
If you mimic it, will it like show up and beat us up?
No, I don't think it's known to. But okay, since we're not in its territory, it's not going to do that, obviously. But I don't know, like, it's the kind of thing where you wouldn't want to like accidentally. I don't know, you don't want to give like a mating call or something out to these things because then they might show up and be very interested in you. You know what I mean? Like,
If you're a coward.
If you're a coward,
Yeah.
You're right. Make sure you do it with gusto so you sound like so you can claim your territory from the Grassman.
Yes.
Okay. These people were also attacked by it. They said it it switched from a high pitch, raspy like coyote call to a full on roar when they saw it, and it began charging through a marshy area of the clearing, and it's moving very quickly, even though it was up to its chest in water. Very frightening situation. Okay. So what's the evidence for this? We have lots of sightings. Okay. Other than nest photos, by the way, these were obtained. I feel like it should be mentioned. The source of these photos is from the Eastern Ohio Bigfoot Society. Okay. So there may be, take that with a grain of salt. But there's also, but so other than the audio recording of the Grassman howl obtained in 2015, there's also a skull found of a juvenile Grassman.
What?
Yes.
Okay, like...
It was sent to a primatologist.
Yeah?
Who identified it as an adult male baboon. So I don't know who you want to believe. I don't know who you want to believe, but is it possible that is there a wild population of baboons running around Ohio?
I'm a believer. I believe. Do baboons make grass nests? I don't remember this, but maybe in Ohio they do. I don't know.
But I mean, if you saw like a strange long-armed primate just absolutely housing grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be
terrifying.
Could be a baboon.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not an unreasonable response to jump to not a baboon first.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
or to
sure.
be like, especially.
I mean, why would there be? Yeah.
I mean, I don't I mean, we just found out there's a population of Japanese Sika deer in Kansas, so like.
That's true, yeah. There's you get some strange, like, little, some strange little wild populations of introduced things sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one possible explanation. I will say another explanation for this. This comes from a 2023 paper, by the way, by one Flo Foxen. Outstanding name.
Very good.
The findings of this paper was that Sasquatch sightings, were statistically significantly associated with, what do you think?
Baboons.
Not baboons.
Oh, sorry. Grasslands.
Not grasslands.
Cryptic hunters.
Bad vision.
Not bad vision, not alcohol. Statistically strongly associated with black bears. Okay. This paper modeled it and found that there is one sighting. They put big air quotes around the word sighting.
Was it air quotes or real quotes?
Well, it's real quotes. I'm giving it air quotes.
Okay,
One sighting can be expected for every 900 bears in an area. Okay. So the higher the density of black bears, the more likely you're going to have people seeing Grassmen, Sasquatches, big feet, etc. So that is one possible explanation as well, if it's not a wild baboon population or a giant gorilla man. Flo Foxen, by the way, I want to give a specific shout out to this scientist because they are publishing a lot of work, like legitimately publishing a lot of work. That paper about the black bears and Bigfoot appeared in the Journal of Zoology.
Nice.
So this is like
amazing.
Legitimate stuff, but their area of interest appears to be folk and cryptozoology. Okay. And it's so fun to see like legitimate things, like people actually publishing legitimate scientific work about this stuff.
Absolutely.
I also want to say that Flo Foxen is doing an outstanding job of naming papers. That paper I just mentioned was titled, "If It Is There, Could It Be a Bear?"
That's amazing.
They also have some follow-up papers called "If It Is Real, Could It Be an Eel?" Okay. If not a fake, what's in the lake? That's about Nessie. And my favorite paper of theirs was titled "The Moa the Merrier, Resolving When the Dinornithiforms Went Extinct." Okay.
That's so good.
So keep doing your thing, Flo Foxen. Outstanding scientific exploration of these very important topics. So is the Grassman out there? Is it baboons? Or is it the thing that haunts the nightmares of Ohioans to this day? Yes, Rachel.
How many black bears are in Ohio?
I don't know. I didn't look that up.
Okay. Can I say that I think if a guy got beat up by a baboon that jumped out of the bushes at him. Like, it does seem like that person would be like, yeah, it was a 7 to 9 foot tall hairy man, and I scared him off.
Oh, that is such a good point. If you got beat up by a relatively small primate compared to a person, you might definitely blow that thing up a bit in your retelling of the story.
Yeah. If it was a bear, you would definitely just say you fought off a bear.
Yes.
Yeah, 100% you would.
Yeah.
That's really funny. We don't have the answer yet. We have a lot of people who who swear to it. But really only the grass knows. Sure. The truth is out there. I did have one comment I wanted to read. This is from because last night at around 4 a.m. I was watching an episode of Monster Hunters on the History Channel was about the Cuyahoga Grassman.
Oh my god!
And there's a comment on this YouTube video from Tony Montana 09210.
Okay.
And they said, I fell asleep by a tree in late fall of 1995 deer hunting at Salt Fork. That's right in the middle of the Sasquatch Triangle, by the way, in eastern Ohio.
Okay.
Daylight was just breaking, and I heard walking through the brush and woke up thinking a deer was near. When I finally seen it, I was frozen in fear. I couldn't move and was breathing hard. I couldn't scream either. Literally frozen in fear. The 8-foot Sasquatch seen my hot breath and heard my scared breathing. He grunted at me and walked closer. I couldn't move. He bellowed, trying another more intense vocalization, like 4 short grunts and what I called speaking. It sounded like he was trying to communicate. Moments later, he turned the way he came and walked away. I've never told anyone this story, and I still have nightmares 25 years later.
Oh my gosh.
Another commenter from Top Herd 1011 said, I worked as a contractor for the Forest Service. I no longer do.
Ooh, did he
They're
get fired?
not.
Sorry.
They're not telling people everything. Wow. Seeing is believing. Whether it's Harry and the Hendersons or something else, there's something that walks up right out there.
Whoa.
So definitely not a sleep paralysis episode, or
Nope. Hard to say. Hard to say. Perhaps the grassmen, grass folk live.
I think for 2024 Halloween episode of the Best Biome, we need to go to Ohio.
field investigation. We're gonna find the baboons. Whatever's walking up out there.
And
I
then
would
we'll
be
find
so
it.
excited if there's actual baboons out there. That would be very fun.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I could see a baboon like getting up next to someone's kitchen window and just kind of like checking stuff out too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I can also definitely see people like seeing a raccoon and being like, it was a 9-foot tall grassman.
Yeah, when you first wake up, when something jars you awake in the middle of the night, you're not gonna, your perception is not quite on point. So.
I once saw a tree in the dawn hours driving down a road and was convinced it was a bull standing at the side of the road and didn't realize it was a tree until I was like 15 feet away. But I just kept watching it get bigger and bigger. And I was like, why is this bull so tall?
Oh, no.
So, I don't
Yeah.
think of me the next time you see
something
something wild out there.
Yes, indeed.
Amazing.
It could be anything.
I've yelled at a pair of shorts to get out of the bathroom because I thought they were my cat. So,
Yeah.
sometimes we don't always see things the way they
That's
are.
true.
Pareidolia, I believe that's called.
Wow.
Our willingness to see patterns where there are none.
Amazing.
I choose to believe there's baboons out in Ohio.
I want to know where that baboon skull came from. If it was legitimately found out there, like, I don't know, was it a test animal? Was it an exotic pet? Like, what's going on?
Did someone just plant it?
Did somebody just chuck a baboon skull out in the middle of the woods for funsies? Yeah.
The questions we should be asking.
Yeah. Oh, I did forget to say there was video evidence of this. And it was like this one Bigfoot hunter that had the video evidence of the Cuyahoga Grassman said it was the best footage he's gotten in years of a cryptid. I watched it. It's terrible. And it was like filmed. I don't know. It was terrible. Like I watched the enhanced slowed down version. I think it was a guy in a hoodie is what he filmed. So not convinced.
I feel like some of those cryptid hunting circles swear that the best way to get footage is to use like old school equipment. And I think it's just because it's bad quality and you can't tell what anything is.
Unfortunate.
Anyway.
Thank you for taking this journey into the strange with us on the best biome. We'll be back sometime in the near future with our third season to bring you more legitimate and real grassland topics, because there's lots of real animals that are more interesting and worth learning about.
More interesting, though? I don't know about that.
I don't know if they're more interesting than the corn maiden. That is pretty wild. The corn mother.
Yeah, I probably could do a whole episode on her. So she's really good.
I don't know if anything's gonna top that.
Thank you so much for listening to The Best Biome, produced by our nonprofit, Grassland Groupies. We will be back very soon with another episode. We're planning to go to a slightly spaced out schedule of one episode a month, but we will hopefully be having a new, very adult podcast coming out soon, which is part of the reason for the slowdown in releases of The Best Biome. Check out our social media. All the information is in the description below. And we also have a new address now if you want to send us fan mail, I don't know, weird stuff like a cool rock you found. I'm accepting anything, honestly. Maybe it'll even go on our podcast wall. But our address is 4925 South Broadway, number 69. That's correct. Number 69. This is a real address. Wichita, Kansas 67216. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.